Hey folks, fWhip here, and welcome to my hardcore Minecraft world, where today, I want to build a castle. We've built a few different castles in this world already, as they're one of my favorite things to create in Minecraft. But I've never built one mainly made out of Tuff. And with the new Tuff blocks in 1.21, it's time to change that. So if you're excited for castle building, click the like button and please subscribe if you're new. Both help me out a ton, so thank you for doing it. And tomorrow is my birthday, so you have to. Today is one of those days where I spent the last 10 to 15 hours or so planning a build, and I'm really just excited to make the thing. Now, if you would like to see how I planned it all out, I actually streamed designing a ton of the castle, so you can see the whole build block for block coming together here on the live tab on my YouTube channel. I haven't figured out every little detail, but I've got a good chunk of this thing sorted already. And for starters, I'm going to need a shulker box, where a lot of mine are currently being used. That's not good. Grab some nautilus shells in here to make ourselves a new conduit, and time for a quick trip through the nether. Now, all the way out here to the Guardian farm, where I need to run down below really quick. Wrapped up a good chunk of prismarine, and we are off to the coral reef. With every single major update to Minecraft that adds a new stone type, I really enjoy building a castle themed around that, which is kind of where the idea for today's castle came from. And yes, I know Tuff does not actually spawn in a coral reef, but setting up a little conduit here for ourselves, we now have the ability to see and to swim. Grabbing ourselves a fresh Fortune 3 pickaxe, I realized that with Tuff blocks, the dead horn coral block right here pairs very, very well. I've been testing my building skills a lot recently, and I've been trying to work in a lot of less commonly used blocks that just have a great color behind them. And I landed here on the horn coral, but unfortunately that means I need 14 stacks of dried horn coral for the castle, which has now been acquired, and we'll leave the conduit here, but I have cleared out all of the horn coral going even farther. Okay, I missed a little over there, but I got most of it for the entire radius of this conduit. Plop all that in there, and we will leave the conduit behind, as I'm sure I'm gonna be back soon to mine more coral. But on to the next material, where the theme of this castle is Tuff. So I should probably get down into the mines to start mining up all of that Tuff. I currently need about 2 shulker boxes full of Tuff, I think. We'll start there at least with all of the mining of it and see if I need any more later. I could easily jump back underground to mine up some more Tuff, as it's not too terrible to find. Those 2 boxes are now filled up here with all of our Tuff, and we'll craft it all down later. For now, I need to fill these up, I think, with a lot of deep slate. I swear it's a Tuff castle, but we just also need a lot of deep slate. Okay, I'm on team. Please let us instant mine deep slate with haste 2 and efficiency 5. After instant mining all of the Tuff, then going into this to get the same number of blocks. This took over twice as long to fill the 2 shulker boxes. And another dead pickaxe for the shulker box. But we did get 33 diamonds, which is pretty nice. Oh, I left one on the ground. Oh no, can't leave any of those behind. They're too precious. I just got all the way up here, put all the junk away, and then I realized I need 8 stacks of regular deep slate too. How much do I have in here? 4. Please, storage room. I don't want to go mine any more deep slate. 5 exactly. Okay, I need 3.5 stacks. Okay, back down into the mines I go again. Okay, there we go. All done mining deep slate. Time to go on to the next thing we have to mine. One material I am constantly running out of is basalt. So for a quick side mission today, I believe the interior of this building is empty. Yes, of course I've been lazy. Current fWhip very happy with past fWhip because I can just hide the basalt farm in there and make it future fWhip's problem to decorate. I think I have ice in one of these. Ice. And we need blue ice. Need some hoppers, where we can take some iron and build out 7 mine carts to create a bunch of hopper mine carts. Got the rest of the materials together here, but one quick trip down into the city here, the lava cauldron out front, means this is our lava farm, and we need 2 buckets of that. Over in the building now, let's just level this off and throw our torches in the corners. We're gonna have lava in the middle that I think will be able to light everything. So let's put our chest right in here, and then we're just gonna create a long line of our hoppers going all the way down. Use these guys as some temporary blocks, and then we also need our soul soil on both sides, as the goal is to put a bunch of hopper minecarts in here so that they can collect the basalt that breaks on top and just suck it down right into the hoppers that normally we can't do that. Let's throw a little bit of safety glass on top so that I'm not accidentally falling down into the lava. But that right there looks like a basalt farm to me. And we're collecting basalt. Oh boy. To speed up our basalt farm even more, I'm gonna dig down here. And I know it is literally right behind this, so that actually can work out to our favor. Let's turn that piston into a sticky piston here, which is going to sit looking that way. And I need to flip it so that it is on, and then we can put a lever here, which should turn it off. Perfect. Then right down in here, because I have so many of them, we're just gonna set up a beacon. And I believe it can go through slabs. Yes, yes it can. Oh, it's gonna work. And there we go, haste 2. Flip the lever and it's completely covered. Back again, and it's a little in the way, but it's fine. It's got character, right? Yeah. But now the more important part, with haste 2, we can instant mine basalt. Yeah, that's been about 30 seconds. I'm gonna like this thing. I should have done this so long ago. Are you kidding me? This was quicker to build than it was to get into the nether. Look at how much basalt we have in there. It was faster to build this, mine all of that, than it was probably even to go get set up and start mining in the nether, and that's more than enough that I need today. I definitely like to be breaking blocks instead of using TNT to blow them up, but man, I'm still breaking those blocks. Nope, forgot to turn it off. Can't have that. Can't have that. I just got a little too excited about my new farm that I wanted to run away from it. We can take a quick trip down into the villager trading hall, as I want to take 8 stacks of this or so and turn it into smooth basalt. I love this super smelter, and I don't find enough reasons to use it, but whoo, that is so quick. There's 64 furnaces down here, and it's perfect. Next, let's grab one of these boxes of snow down here. And this here should actually be most of the bulk blocks that we need for the build. We just need the different smaller texturing things, and then, you know, to craft all this down in the different varieties. Oh, it feels weird to say that we're getting there. Took 2 days to design the thing, and a few hours later almost got all the blocks for it. I'm over halfway done with the materials gathering at this point from a quantity perspective, but there's still a lot of little things to grab. Off from dirt storage, we're next in the quarry grabbing all of the different stones, andesites, diorites, cobbles, and you name it, this castle's gonna be all different types of gray. How? No. How did this leak in? Oh no. Pivot, hard pivot. I have a solution. I have a solution that can save us. This grass block was to blame. It's fixed now, so hopefully we don't find anything else out here that can leak in. On to more peaceful block gathering, I jumped into color storage for a bunch of glass and concrete powders to use on the build, as I want to try experimenting with some new techniques. Our next item to gather is 3 stacks of exposed trapdoors. Unfortunately, we can only craft the first edition and then have to let them age manually. So I placed them all down in the harbor and waited. Copper aging simulator is so much fun, so I jumped around waiting even longer for it to all age, which was so fun. Yeah, so fun. And I had a great time, and definitely no complaints about this feature at all. No, I love this. So good. An hour went by, where I chopped down the next few layers off of the mountain. We'll touch more on that later. But I also realized I need some weathered trapdoors, so I added even more, and this is rough. Trapdoors aside, as I was still stuck waiting for those, I jumped into lumber storage to gather up some wooden goodies to add in for all of the smaller detail elements. All of this traveling and trapdoor aging boredom, my wings were nearly broken, so I went into the nether to repair them at the Wither skeleton farm. I'm all fixed up and back in the overworld, where still the trapdoors aren't aged down. So I went through crafting up all of the different Tuff blocks and the different varieties that I think I'm gonna need for the castle. The same went for all of the deep slate materials, since those were waiting here, and well, I had more time to kill, so just filled that time up with this instead of staring at trapdoors. But back to my post. The trapdoors still aren't aged, so I'm resorting to now sitting in the tower here, watching them. Stupid trapdoor haven't even reached the 2nd stage. I hate this game. I hate trapdoors. I love these, but I hate making them. Another unaged. I'm leaving it. We're just moving on. I still need 6 more of these. Six more. There's 6 sitting out here that have not aged down a single layer. You know what? I'm just picking them up. We're moving them up to the mountain. I want to get started on building this thing. I'm not waiting any longer with stupid trapdoors. But one did just age. Thank you. Now that I've spent an entire day and a half IRL gathering resources, it's time to get started on this castle. Before we make the big old castle up here, I need some better rocks to support it. And snow contrasting with stone, it's a little bland. I really don't like it. So instead, let's grab some basalt, a good chunk of our deep slate tiles, blackstone, and for some lighter blocks, let's grab cobblestone, a little diorite, and andesite. And of course, some snow to top it all off. I've been having a ton of fun working with blocks as colors instead of using them for the name and, well, the texture behind the block. This castle build is going to be a great example of something where just the color of it actually applies. As we assemble these rocks, the intended place to view the castle from is walking around in the city, so we won't actually see the texture of these rocks really up close at all. We're now down here in the city. You can see a little bit better about what I mean behind all of these colors, even adding in our bits of light blue glass there to look like icicles kind of hanging down from that ice flow up above. It's definitely looking much better to fit a mountain up on top of these now, but I do want the mountain to come all the way across here, so we've got to do the rocks on the back too. I know. Very surprising. Oh, no, don't hit the ground. And with a few more minutes of work, we can get some lovely new rocks added along the back too. Now, both sides of the little cave we had up here are covered up, and I think this is looking pretty awesome. I did bring in a lot of our packed ice in here too, which is pretty fun. And oh my gosh, I keep falling in the powdered snow all over this place. I hate building on mountains. All the powdered snow is everywhere. It's gonna look so cool though. Now, unfortunately, I do think we have to get rid of these little spruce trees that are hanging out up here. They have gotten to be a little close. Well, I mean, I've been building a little close to where they've been existing, so unfortunately they have to be moving. We'll make it up to the trees, I promise. We'll rebuild some custom spruce trees up here that'll much more match the vibe that we're going with on the castle. Speaking of the castle, I want to start building up a few platforms throughout here, as my idea for the castle currently is that it's actually only going to be accessible from either an airship, which we can have docking kind of along that line I've dug out in the snow, or a minecart track that will run a railroad all the way back down to the city and back up here. I thought it'd be fun to have this be a really secluded space. And now over here to transition against these darker tones, instead of just going gray, like dark gray into gray, I thought it could be fun just to, again, break this up here by incorporating some of our brown mud and mushrooms and all that. Not like actual mushrooms, but the brown mushroom block. And we can kind of use the warmth off of the coral to bring that back into the regular tuff. Then for a lip around the platform, I've used this a few times before, and I just love how it works together. So we're gonna be transitioning between the chiseled tuff bricks and the chiseled tuff. And again, we're very much building here for the colors on our tuff brick castle that we're making, so that can just extend all the way up there. We need to get a lot of our tuff in, but I do want to have some lighter highlighty sections like right over here, where if you know me, for that, I like to use the light gray wool and light gray concrete powder. Then this whole look together, make sure to land on actual snow, gives us that look, which I think is really cool. Another little wall added in here to get a better idea where our corner's coming down to. And I don't want to use too much of it, but I am sneaking a little bit of deep slate in there to really transition from that snow directly into the stones. Now, if we head back over to the city, you can see all of these colors working together from a distance as they really blend in here. Now, let's grab some of our diorite slabs and our snow layers, as this place is gonna be pretty snowy. I know it doesn't actually snow in my world for some reason, but that doesn't mean we can't add in some of our snow throughout here. Yeah, I think that's gonna work out pretty well here. I like that a lot. You can still come down the future staircase throughout here, get on an airship if it's docked, and then the snow just kind of gets brushed off to the sides. Moving up the staircase a little further, we have a few more platforms before the gatehouse where our minecart will arrive. I want to make sure that all happens outside of the castle itself. I think that just makes a little bit more sense defensibility wise. Not that that's really going to be a factor when it's hard to reach this place, but I am really happy with all the different layers are coming together here. That side seems a little flat, but as soon as you get out into the valley where we're actually going to be looking up at it from, I love all of the different shapes that we've created with this. And my current plan right now is the minecart is going to land right about here and then go off over the top with some archways that will lead it down here and end up somewhere down by the gatehouse there for the quarry entrance. We'll worry about the minecart a little later on. As for right now, I want to focus on building the castle itself. This here is going to be our gate, and I want to dig out a courtyard going backwards a little bit. But as we are working up against the side of the mountain, I feel like this being a flat space isn't the most realistic. So if we come back about this far, and then maybe where it got really steep here, we can turn this into a bit of a retaining wall to have a second layer of our courtyard, topped with the chiseled tuff going around and then our chiseled tuff bricks in between, and I like that. Now for the floor, we just got to continue this pattern. Coming up the staircase to this level here, which gives us a tiny bit of a railing, I think it'll be pretty good. Now I just need to take this into a much larger space than that to be a real courtyard. I kind of forgot how fun snow layers can be to work with, and look at this. I love just making these little piles of snow. We've got our diorite, we've got all the snow layers mixed in. It's just such a fun detail. Kind of wish we had snow layers of like different types of blocks. I'll take that back, please. I need that. Like, I don't want it to generate across everywhere and have this all be super smooth with layering, but if you can like craft layers out of like moss, carpets or something, imagine being able to layer that. Oh, it'd be so much fun to work with. Anyways, back on track over here. Let's focus on our gatehouse, where I really want to go heavy on that shading idea that I've talked about, as we're going to be bringing in a little bit of our andesite, and then for the highlights to make it seem really, really curved here, we're going to be bringing in the smooth stone. Now in front of that here, this is going to pop out a little bit more, and then let's grab our polished tuff, which is going to be sitting in both of these little front points, and that polished andesite again on top. But if we come all the way back here, you can see the really rounded feature that we're getting out of this. It'll make more sense once we have other things around it nearby too, but that archway feels very, very round, even though it's all of the grayscale tones. And then behind this, for a pretty simple gate, we're just gonna work in some iron bars going across, as it'll give the visual idea without really needing to make it realistic. I've brought another wall out here just so it's not flat going across, and then I had the idea to add one of the City of Path flags to the base of this guy. See if we can jump up there. Can I, let's be professional Minecrafter. Yes, we are. All right, let's just pillar up like this with the typical flag we're using, and then I did bring some anvils and spruce trap doors with us so we can attach it to the wall. Then up here, I have all of the snow with our diorite and snow layers, and I was thinking we can take our white glass panes here, almost, again, from a distance, for that to feel like snowy icicles are hanging off, and I think that gives the vibe. Now, up here, all of those trapdoors, you remember that we were waiting for hours to age down? Well, now it's time to finally do something with them. As I really love the idea of using them as a window frame of sorts, so if we take them all the way down here, this should work to get right to that wall. Yes, perfect. And then we can flip them all up, which I guess I should probably do at the end. But on top of these, I want to... I guess we're playing a parkour game. I am a professional Minecrafter now, so I have to be good at this. Yep, perfect. I did win Parkour Warrior, so it does make sense that I'm really, really good at that. Well, I should probably preface and say that my team won Parkour Warrior, but you know, it's same thing. It's the same thing. All of our stairs should be in the right locations, and yes, I love the look of that. Oh, that's so good. With the front archways in place, I added them in along the back as well, and brought a deep slate roof in before jumping to the corner to build a simple lighter tone tower sticking out. Small dribbler, please, please. No. How? You're selling me blue ice while standing on packed ice. Let alone, how did you get up to this inaccessible mountain fortress, by the way? Like, the lore behind the world is that this is very inaccessible unless you're on a minecart, which doesn't exist. Yeah. Excuse, no, don't. Okay, you're just gonna walk away from me. Right, yep. Keep your secrets then. Keep your secrets. Speaking of secrets, the castle dungeons are looking a little... I put my bow away. Not doing that without a bow. But anyways, it's looking pretty rough in here. It's looking pretty rough down here. I think we need to get a few torches in. I can't think over all the zombie sounds. I wish you would make more sounds though. How are there so many creepers in here? I build one rock and there's like 100 creepers underneath. Regardless though, the castle's starting to look pretty good over here. Oh, that's a lot of mobs. I'm gonna sleep somewhere else. Survive the night and time to build again. This time going with a diagonal castle wing that connects to our front gatehouse and tower. Do you want to look at this build from a distance again? Great, I do too. Wow. Yeah, look at that. That's nice. Looking good. Working into one of the main castle buildings now, I'm taking a lot of the ideas we've already used and incorporating them at a larger scale. To bring on the cold mountain air feeling, I'm finding the darker roof with our deep slate really helps to just kind of sell that vibe. And I am so happy with how this is turning out. But I'll be honest, the whole purpose of this build was for a giant cylindrical type tower sticking out here as like a form of a moon room, which would be a space to view the stars from our castle up here. Not to moon the city. That could be a different room. As I want this to push more towards the observatory vibe, like observatory meets castle is what I'm going for. And well, that's gonna go right behind this new wing that we built up here. And I really just want to build it, so we're gonna build it right now. I mean, just look at that sitting on top of the mountain. Oh, I love the shape of this castle so far. We also now have a small building attached here to finish off the gatehouse, I guess we can call it. Basically, this little walkway that'll connect the main living area into this. You can just look up to look at the moon and the stars. Hence, moon window, skylight. Moon skylight. Yep, that's what we're doing. Before I say anything else even stupider, let's get here into building this next portion, where this is gonna be a big flat face. So I was thinking instead we can take our polished tuff walls and bring those in along here and a little polished andesite on top, as that will force a little additional depth in this by pushing it back just a touch. And I want to carry that idea all the way across here, along with a big old door that we'll do out of some dark oak in the back. Then here to help force that rounded shape again, we can just extend our smooth stone and our polished andesite and the polished tuff, as it kind of forces that rounded shape with our little highlight in there. And I'll bring some stairs in soon. My inventory is an absolute mess right now, so I don't have those on me currently, but we'll get little polished stairs up in the corner. And then the last big thing to note, you can see the mud right back in there, but I want to take our mud bricks, packed mud, and brown mushroom blocks off of this corner here too, and use this as a way to divide that gray stone from this also gray stone. We're just gonna force that color transition across, and it'll probably end up something like that. How do people keep finding their way on top of this mountain? It's supposed to be inaccessible. You're ruining the immersion. Well, anyways, here we have another small tower on the corner, and this big old keep building is just massive with a huge roof reaching way high up into the sky that I've used walls a lot of the way to help smooth that slope out a little bit further. I tried stairs originally, and I think the walls just gave a nicer effect. I'm watching too much of the Olympics, and my first thought was this is like a Minecraft balance beam. But this here is going to be a really tiny detail of I just want to add our light gray candles and iron bars on top. I have no idea if it's going to show from down below, but I hope it does. I'm sorry I murdered your friends. You can join them. It's okay. I'll take your little bottle. Thank you. Ooh, Bad Omen 3. Oh, wow. You actually can't see them. Oh, the candles render in from super far away. Do they unrender at all? I thought they were entities. No. Wow, you can see them all the way down there, and it actually has an effect on it. Oh, that's cool. Also, I guess the castle's pretty cool too, but wow, candles. Oh, I love it. It's time for a quick break from all the snow as I gotta plant a field. I have really loved working on this new castle today. Something about building castles in Minecraft to me is one of the most nostalgic things in this game. I've been doing it since I got started as a builder way too long ago. Just like, yeah, we're doing it. The most nostalgic thing for a YouTuber is asking you to subscribe and leave a like on this video if you haven't already. I really appreciate all your support. Wouldn't be here without you, so thank you all for taking the time to do it. Y'all have no idea just how long I've been trying to think of a way to link building a castle to asking people to subscribe. That took way too long to figure out that connection, but we got it. Just like we got a brand new potato field here, right next to the cartographer village that we built up, I felt like I don't really have too many places to add fields in anymore because we have so many of them. So I had to come all the way out here to plant a new field. Really got to get that mountain down so we can have all that space in there for more fields outside the buildings. I guess I have this. Definitely have the dirt now to... Oh, okay, yeah, we got field space. I just gotta do work to prep it. So I thought the castle we're making is pretty massive, but I'm back here at my starter house right now, grabbing a few things, and I love that you can barely see it poking over the top there. I just find it really funny. It looks just so tiny. And then you come around the corner, it's like, bam, castle. Oh, it's so... We need to give it a little bit larger footprint. So next, what I want to focus on is extending from here, bringing in, again, more of that observatory idea. I want a big tower over there with a telescope looking up to the stars. So I want to extend a wall going across the entire valley here, and that's all powdered snow. Oh boy. Right, we probably want some deep slate, dead horn coral, and just kind of the regular block palette that we've been going, where supplies are starting to run pretty thin over here. Thankfully, we can build directly on top of powdered snow, so this isn't too terrible. And at the base of our wall, I want to add in small meltwater tunnels. In the warm season, I'm assuming the snow up here would at least partially melt, and that liquid would need somewhere to go. So these little tunnels will help the wall stay intact instead of the melting snow slowly damaging and eroding it. For the rest of the wall, we're continuing along the texture pattern, and those reinforced parts sticking out on both sides to complete the look of the wall spanning across between the peaks. Now, I was a little sneaky here on the wall. I really liked how the texturing on the front turned out, so I literally just, oh, ow. I copied it. I just brought the wall back another 2 blocks and copied it here. And I don't think anybody was really gonna notice until I kind of revealed my trick here, so that's on me. I do want to bring in a little extra snow here to block that off so we can't see the base, and then we do have the tinted glass and then a grate block in there just to make it a bit darker. It was feeling too bright before with just the grates inside. Now, our wall isn't very walkable currently, so I would like to bring a bunch of our dark oak slabs in here that are gonna run across the entire distance just to make it easier to move on. For something like this, that'll just come all the way over here where we can add 2 more slabs, and hopefully that will connect it. I don't have my axe. This is gonna take a minute. And then we can do trapdoors to seal the little gap above. Now, I want to get a little bit of light over here, so instead of just hanging a lantern directly off the wall, let's bring out a little bit of a covering, so as the guards or whoever walks out here, they're not just directly in the elements, and then they have a nice little light there that should also look really good at nighttime. Not that we'll ever really see it, but we'll know that it looks good at nighttime, right? Yeah. Adding in the walls stretching all the way across from down here, oh, you just see so much more of it, and seeing the little castle coming into view, this is making me very, very happy to have this project in. Something about building a castle just brings a smile to my face. Now, we are not done yet. As mentioned, I want an observatory attached to the castle. And well, I think to balance it out, we need a big tower sitting here on the far side, which I didn't really realize till now. Our current castle is pretty much the same layout as the first castle from episode 3 that we built in this world. And man, I have come a long ways as a builder. I do love that I've been working in this world for nearly 3 years, so I can see my growth as a builder all in one spot. And here marks another section I've built something in. It looks a little empty for an observatory, but we can fix that with a quick down and up to see a telescope looking far into the skies. A little goofy looking, but he's all right. I really like the side profile on it. I know it's very, very big for the building, but building a telescope on this scale, it's really difficult. So I think it's about as best as I could do. Yeah, it looks pretty wonky from straight on. Pretty weird looking directly at it. I did add a few glass panes here on the end, almost like round out the telescope lens there. I don't know if that's realistic or not, but it felt very flat. So the panes helped to just add that little beveling to it from a distance, which you can kind of catch a glimpse of that when you're all the way down here. And then for another little secret detail, way inside the telescope itself, just to give it a little bit of a glow. I don't know if that's realistic or not, but I added a frog light all the way back there just to kind of lightly illuminate this and bring the glass glass into being more of a presence, especially when it's darker out. Back over to the castle, I've removed a good chunk of the spruce trees that connected up the side of the mountain, so I want to mix a few of our custom ones in with all of the default trees. We're gonna need to cover these with a lot of snow layers. We can also use diorite and smooth quartz slabs to help even it out, and hopefully yes, we have tons of nether brick walls. Grab spruce leaves and dark oak fences as well, then jumped into building a few snow-covered spruce trees to fit the environment. I really like how these have turned out, and I definitely think they hit the effect I was wanting to go for. Yep, that's looking pretty good. Now for something I've been working on this entire video in the background. Literally. I've been working on building this castle for the last week, IRL, and every morning I woke up and before recording anything, spent an hour tearing down the mountain across the river, resulting in so many broken tools and hundreds of thousands of blocks being removed. I thankfully caught every tool before they fully broke, so I jumped into the end to repair them all on my enderman farm so I could jump right back into digging the next day. So if you've seen the durability on my tools all over the place in this episode, well, this big mountain being removed is why. Unfortunately, even with 7 hours of digging, it's still not even close to being gone. So not only have I built an entire castle in this episode, but I've added nearly 130 blocks mined to my pickaxe count up here and over 100,000 blocks mined with the shovel. The mountain is so massive that I really need to set more beacons up, as this whole end from about where that hole is out to here does not get the beacon buff. But every single time I've taken a layer off, I've come back over here for this view, and it's honestly just making me want to keep moving forward because we can see the whole city. Oh, it's looking so good. In an old creative copy, you can see where the mountain was originally, so we've torn down a lot of this thing. Now, this video has taken so long to build the castle and everything that tomorrow, after the video is out, well, that's my birthday. So I'm gonna be taking a little bit of time off, and as a birthday present, you have to subscribe and click the like button. I mean, it's my birthday. You can't say no. It's my 30th. Come on now. It's a big one. I'm old now. I'm old. No, I'm not too old though. I'm like still, hey, hello, fellow kids. I'm still cool and hip and gonna keep playing Minecraft. Yeah, we're just, yep, definitely still gonna be doing all that stuff. Anyways, though, thank y'all so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy the castle build today. And with that, my friends, I'll catch y'all on the flip side.